I'm Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is when she's unenthusiastic that you called. Well, I talk a lot about how most guys who are unsuccessful with women, one of the big behaviors that they all have in common, and I used to do this myself when I was unsuccessful, is getting fixated on a woman who either has really low interest or no interest at all, or she's just completely unavailable. And so what guys that are not doing well, what they end up doing is they end up staying focused on women that they can't have. And because there's women fucking everywhere. I mean, you can go to the mall, there's literally thousands of people there, and there's literally thousands of women all throughout the mall that you can talk to, and you'll never fucking see them again. And that's what's so amazing about it, is just to get a guy like unstuck from just this one girl that I met 6 months ago, or that I've known for 2 years, and I've been carrying the torch. It's like you're totally missing out on life and missing out on your ability to experience and grow and to get better. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you spend your time with women who actually are enthusiastic to see you, to date you, to go out with you. And until you talk to enough women, until you ask enough women out by asking for their phone numbers, until you call enough women on the phone or you text enough women and you ask them out on dates, and then you go out on dates and you practice trying to seduce them and improving your skills, and then you become successful at seducing them, and then just being able to repeatedly do that no matter where you are. If you're traveling all over the world, it's like, doesn't matter. You're sitting in a hotel lobby, you can meet a woman in literally in a matter of minutes, you can be up in your room fucking each other's brains out if you know what you're doing. But most guys don't, and that's why when women come across a guy who gets it, they're all too happy within a matter of minutes. They're up in the bedroom sleeping with each other. And that's the way it should be. It should be fun, and people should be able to do what it is they want, when they want, with who they want. And I've got an email here from a guy who's written me in the past. And he says, "Hi, Corey. I wrote you some weeks ago in the article, 'Women who like you do this.' So I asked that girl out one more time, but she gave me the same flaky answer. I shot her a text asking her out, and the answer I got was, 'Who are you? My cell phone broke up, and I don't have any number saved.' I think that's a lie, because some minutes later she told me in the Facebook chat that her cell phone wasn't broken up, that the phone was just failing and it doesn't recognize the numbers. She didn't give me a yes or no. She didn't talk about the date. Neither did I, because I saw in her lack of enthusiasm." I'd say you're kind of fucking up there, because men are direct and they want to get to the point. And it also sounds kind of neat. You're calling her and then you're talking to her on Facebook. It's like, send a text out and wait for the girl to respond, because when you send a text and you're like, "Oh, I can't get a hold of her. Well, let me just try her on Facebook because I know she's on Facebook." It's like you act like a stalker. And you got to be patient, just because that's something that's real simple, something real subtle that can completely communicate that you're needy, and where you could have had a chance just by that very nature of doing that one act of messaging her on Facebook when she doesn't respond by text, completely blows it for you. It makes you look like a needy, weak little guy. Those are the things that stalkers do. Those are the things that guys that are control freaks do, guys that become abusive boyfriends. That's the kind of behaviors, and women are watching out for that shit like a hawk, because they don't want to get involved with guys like that. And so when you display those kind of behaviors, one thing, boom, and that's it, and you're out. Especially, the lower her interest is, the fewer things you can do wrong before she rejects you outright. He says, "A few days after that happened, she and I had a conversation in the university. As I and she were talking, I noticed that she bumped into me and was touching and playing with her hair. That confused me, because that's a sign of interest. And she may like you, but those are indicators of interest. Normally when a woman does those things, it means that she likes you. And where you fucked up is you weren't direct. You didn't make a definite date. And when you approached her on Facebook, you didn't even bring up the date. So that was your fuck up, because you kind of left it up in the air. And that's what women do. They kind of leave things up in the air. They'll initiate contact with you. They're not going to come right out and be the man, but they will put themselves into your orbit in hopes that you at least have a clue and you'll do something about the fact that they've contacted you. So he says, I want to walk away from her because I don't want to be thinking about a girl that has low interest in me. Maybe she's thinking that we must be only friends And that's the thing I won't accept. I want to tell her that I don't accept these terms of only friends, but I just don't know how to do it correctly. You haven't had a discussion. It's like part of the problem is you're having all these things, these scenarios running around in your mind because basically the way you're acting and what you're writing down here is basically communicating to me that you don't think you deserve this girl. And since deep down you don't think you deserve this girl, you're looking for every reason why she doesn't want to be with you, and you're making these assumptions that she only wants to be friends. But no, it's like you fucked up because you simply weren't direct enough with her. He says, must I do it talking face to face? Would it be wrong if I... Here's what I would do. I mean, at this point, you asked her out, and it's true that she didn't seem that enthusiastic, but you had fucked up. And so don't do anything. I mean, she's got your number, right? So wait for her to contact you. She knows you're on Facebook, and then when all of a sudden she doesn't hear from you, you're not contacting her or anything, if she has any kind of interest, if her interest really is in the 50% range, she'll reach out to you. And she's not going to come and ask you out on a date, but she'll say, hey, how are you? I haven't heard from you in a while. What have you been up to? I haven't seen you at school. How you been? And when she does that, it communicates that she's putting herself into her orbit, and that's where you make the connection of the dots. In fact, she was twirling her hair and all that stuff, and now she's reaching out to you. Then that communicates that she wants to see you. Then you're direct, make a definite date. Hey, great to hear from you. Let's meet up for drinks this week. When are you free? Question mark. What evenings are you free? Question mark. Send her that message on Facebook chat if you think her phone's fucked up or whatever. And wait for her to respond. And when she tells you the day she's available, say, great, how about we meet at Bob and Sam's winery or wine tasting place, or some place that's local, that's cool, it's kind of quiet, where you can hang out, the two of you can talk to each other, maybe have a nice drink, have a nice hors d'oeuvre or something like that, some appetizers. It's got some good ambiance, just a place where you can sit and ask her questions and be direct and go for the date that way. And I would say in the past, part of the problem, her lack of enthusiasm, is you're just not being direct. It's like you're showing up and you're kind of acting like a woman instead of being a man, getting to the point, make a definite date, and then move on with your life, and then show up for your date when it's supposed to happen. But here it's like you're kind of half in, kind of half out, not really going for it and being direct. And that's part of your problem, because when you're not direct like that, it communicates weakness. And when you communicate weakness, her interest level drops. And so she may have had interest at first, but you acted weak, and so she really wasn't that enthusiastic about seeing you. And then she didn't hear from you, and so you run into her in school after a couple of weeks, and her interest has gone back up a little bit because you've been kind of indifferent. You haven't been pursuing her. You're obviously busy with other things, and she wants to know what you're up to. So that's the best way to handle it. And get busy dating other women. You're still hung up on this one girl. If you were talking to other women and going out with other women and calling other women, you wouldn't be in this place right now. So if you find this message of value, you can show your appreciation by going to my website and clicking the PayPal donate button, which is located on the Wibbia toolbar at the bottom of your screen. Once you get there, donate in any amount that you feel is equal to the value of the information in this video or my articles. If you got a question that you want to ask me, go to my website, click the Contact Me tab on the left-hand side of your screen. Send me 1 to 2 paragraphs maximum detailing your questions, your situation, your challenges. Just be brief. You don't need to give me a 5-page dissertation, because if you do, I'm not going to respond to it, because I simply don't have the time to do that. But you got to be patient when you send me an email, because I get a lot of it from the internet, and I get a lot of it from my paying phone coaching customers. I obviously got to focus on theirs first, but be patient, and I will get back to you. If you want to talk to me right away, the quickest way to get my help is to book a paid phone coaching session, and you can do that by going to my website, click the Products tab at the top of your screen, and then just select the phone coaching option. And I will talk to you soon.